Hey everyone, it's Anna, and I'm going to do my recap for the season finale of The Vampire Diaries as I lay dying. I'm gonna speed through this because I really don't care about anything that happened in the beginning. I'm just gonna go right through it, right to the end, basically because the ending was my favorite part. As most of you know why already. Okay, so anyways, we start in the beginning. We see Elena walking through her house. She's checking on Jeremy sleeping. She goes and looks in Jenna's room. She's kind of like missing Jenna, and that's pretty much what she's doing. And all of a sudden, like, Damon comes in and he's just like, pretty much apologizing to her for feeding her blood, and he's just like, I need you to forgive me. I know you can't forgive me, and I don't deserve your forgiveness, but I need you to forgive me now. And she's like, oh, well, you're gonna have to give me time to forgive you. I'm not gonna be able to forgive you. And Damon's just like, alright, well, take all the time you need and whatever. So you kind of feel bad because you know that he has the bite, so he thinks that he's dying. And yeah, so anyways, he's at the Salvatore house now, and he's over here drinking bourbon and blood and whatever, and he busts off his, he takes off his ring, and he tries to kill himself with the sun. Stefan goes and tackles him, not to kill him, but like to prevent him from killing himself, and yeah, pretty much locks his ass in the cellar and is like, I'm not gonna let you die, like, you're not gonna die. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, I told you I'm gonna be speeding through this because I have a lot to say about the ending. Oh, then you see Klaus, and he's like naked, waking up from his very first run as a wolf. There's Elijah there giving him his clothes and everything and telling him, well, you've been a wolf for 2 days. And he's like, oh, I remember every single kill and blah blah blah. And he's like, that was amazing. Just like, oh great, Mr. Werevamp. So where do you go? Okay, next up, it's pretty much like Elijah is like Klaus's bitch. He's like helping him. You even see him like putting on his coat and stuff, and I'm like, really, Elijah? Like, I thought you were better than that. Now you're your brother's bitch. But anyways, he's just like talking about him, like talking to him, well, we had a deal, like, where's our family? I want to see our family. And I kind of feel bad for Elijah about that, because he really does want to see his family. And think about if you were in that situation. So anyways, we're going to go now to Rick. He's at the grill, and he's like drinking himself. Like, he's desperate. I mean, he's depressed, and he's drinking himself to, like, I don't know. And he gets a call from Stefan, and Stefan's like, oh, well, I need your help. He's like, really, you need my help now? You didn't need my help when my girlfriend was over there getting sacrificed and killed. And then Stefan tells him, well, I need your help. It's Damon. He's gonna die. He got bit by a wolf. And then Alaric's like, well, tell me what I need to do. And you see right there that he does care for Damon. It's like the bromance, and I love that. I love the Alaric Damon bromance. It's pretty damn awesome. So pretty much Rick feels responsible for Jenna. He feels like if he was there, he could have prevented her from dying, which we all know that's not true, but he does feel responsible. You could tell he misses Jenna, and I miss Jenna. I still wish they'd bring her back. Bring Jenna back. Okay, so then we get to the scene where they're like in town, and it's Caroline and Jeremy and Elena. But first you see Elena and Jeremy, and he's like, I can't believe you brought me to a girls movie. And it's basically just to try to get their mind off of things, and Jeremy's kind of upset because he's like, I just can't go on with my life like nothing happened. And she's like, well, you're gonna have to, this is how things are gonna be. Then Caroline comes in all bubbly with her, with food and snacks, and Jeremy's like, alright, fine, like, I'll stay here and watch it with you, I'll have a good time. And I really like that scene because Jeremy's finally getting scenes without Bonnie. Yes. No Bonnie. Sorry, people, not a Bonnie fan, even after tonight. Then you go to scene Bonnie with Stefan at the witch house, trying to get the witches to tell her if there's a cure for a werewolf bite. She pretty much gets possessed by Emily. And Emily tells him that there's no cure for it, that it's like everything in nature has a balance. And he's like, oh well, I know there's a cure. He's like, are you sure that it's just like a balance in nature, or are you not telling me because it's Damon? And then she's like, oh yeah, there is a cure. It's basically, there is a cure, but I'm not telling you because it's for your brother, and your brother's an ass, is basically what she's saying. Bonnie gets like, like this pain, and she like falls down. Well, she's already on the ground, but she like falls forward, and she's like, oh, they don't want me here, they're upset that, they're saying that I'm abusing their power. And she's like, oh, but I do hear a name, like I know what she's telling me that can, save Damon. Klaus. You're like, oh shit, who didn't call that? It was Klaus, that was the cure. Everybody did. Everybody was talking about it on Twitter for like the entire week, ever since the last episode. Like, oh yeah, it's either gonna be Elena's blood or Klaus's blood. Next one, you see Sheriff Forbes and Mrs. Lockwood talking to each other. She has her sling on her arm, and she's over here like pissed off because she's like, oh, where's the vampire situation at? Sheriff Forbes like, oh, well, I have it under control. She's like, well, it doesn't seem like you have it under control because I haven't heard anything about it yet, and blah blah blah. Pretty much, yeah, the scene wasn't even important. But anyways, Stefan goes to town, to the Gone with the Wind thing, and he's like, tells Elena, oh, well, I need to talk to you. And Elena's like, oh, okay. She's like, oh, I thought today was supposed to be movie night, and we were supposed to just chill, and then tomorrow we would get back into like our normal lives. And then, Stefan basically tells her that Damon got bit by a wolf, got bit by Tyler when he was transforming, so he's dying. And you could see like the pain in Elena's face, like, because she really does care about Damon. I don't care what anybody says, she cares about Damon. She does. Even if she doesn't like love him like that, she does care about Damon. Sorry about that text message, Twitter. She does care about Damon, and he's like, I just wanted to let you know that if you need to talk, to talk to him, he's at the house in the cellar. Just go talk to him now. She's like, he's, dying. He's like, yeah. She feels responsible for it because she's telling Stefan, he came to apologize to me this morning. He asked for my forgiveness, and I basically pushed him out the door. She feels like really, really, bad for that. Because then Elena freaks out because Stefan's like, well, there might be a cure, so he might not die. But I have to go talk to Klaus. He's like, he knows what it is, what the cure is. And she's like, no, you can't go talk to him. And he's like, I need to talk to him. Then you go back, Damon's hallucinating. He has like a flashback to like Catherine and him. And then all of a sudden he sees Elena, and she's just like, you have a choice. You don't have to love her. And you're just like, okay. And he's like freaking out himself. And then, let me see. Oh, the one thing that Catherine said in the flashback is like, she's like, is it so wrong that I want you both? Like, yeah, bitch, it's wrong. Sorry, you're nasty. You want to be with two brothers. Like, they're hot as hell, but I'm sorry, I would not be jumping from one brother to the other. Ho. Yeah, just no threesomes there. That's kind of incesty. No, we're good. Then you go to Catherine. She's still stuck in the apartment, and she's pissed off because she's still stuck in the apartment. She's like, I thought Klaus was supposed to be dead. I thought I was supposed to be out of here. It's been 2 days already. And Stefan's like talking to her. He's like, where's Klaus? Something happened that he didn't die. Where is he? I need to talk to him. She like vamp speeds him up against the wall, tells him to shut up, and then Klaus comes in. Stefan's like, well, I need your help for my brother. And he's like, oh, well, I need to help my brother. He's like, your thing's gonna have to wait because I have to help my brother first. It's like a big priority or whatever. And then he's like, oh, my brother, you were looking for our family, and now you're gonna join them. So he pretty much stakes him with like the dagger thing. And you're like, oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? Really? I felt so bad for Elijah, because I actually still like Elijah. Call me crazy, but I still do. Anybody would have done that in the same situation. Family comes first. And he wanted to see his family, so whatever. Oh, yeah, I'm speeding through this. Looking through my notes. Okay, Oh, and then Klaus starts like torturing Stefan. He like grabs his heart and like pretty much just telling him like, if I move like a certain way, I can just kill you right now. I can just pull your heart out right now. And Stefan's like begging him for the cure. He's like, I'll give you whatever you want as long as you give me the cure. And it's like, oh my god, like this is such a brother moment. Just crazy. Then we go into the scene where Rick is visiting Damon, or like on suicide watch, as Damon says it. And he gives him bourbon and a ring, and they start talking there, and it's like, oh yeah, bromance. Yeah, then, you know, Damon's like, well, why are you here? Pretty much saying like, you should hate me. It's my fault that Jenna's dead. And he's like, no, I don't blame you for Jenna. And he's like, you should, like, yes you do. Jenna is dead because of me. And he's like, well, I turned your wife into a vampire. He's like, he just wants Alark to hate him, and Alark's like, man, he's like, bring that glass back over here because neither of us is drunk enough for this. That like made me laugh really hard. Then Damon goes and like grabs Rick by the neck, and he's like begging him to kill him, and then Rick like stabs him in the arm, I think with like vervain or something, and he lets him go. Then you see Elena walking up to the boarding house. You see she's about to go talk to Damon, and somebody grabs her. Of course, somebody always has to grab Elena. We're like, oh fuck, who is this? And it's Sheriff Forbes and the other stupid idiot cops in the town, grabbing her, like bursting into the freaking boarding house to get Damon. And Alaric's like trying to warn her, like, he's not himself, like, you can't go in there, just don't go in there, he's sick, he's not himself. Oh, she doesn't listen. He pretty much escapes and runs off somewhere. Then you go to Jeremy, Bonnie, and Caroline. They're at the Gone with the Wind thing. They're watching Gone with the Wind. He gets a call from Alaric that's like, oh, please tell me that Elena's with you. And Jeremy gets like really worried, and Alaric's like, well, if you find her, please, you know, get her to safety, blah blah blah, tell her what's going on. And he's about to leave, and then Bonnie's just like, you can't go, let us take care of it, let me and Caroline take care of everything. And he's like pissed off, and he's like, I'm going to find my sister, I like to see you try and stop me. And I'm like, yes, finally, Jeremy, finally, you're getting some balls and you're standing up for yourself. Finally, I've been waiting for this. Please just tell off Bonnie. I understand, you know, he's not a supernatural thing and, you know, person, and he could get killed or whatever, but I'm just tired of just seeing him standing there. I want him to be badass. Just putting that out there. After that, Klaus bites Catherine. Like, you go back to the apartment and Klaus bites Catherine to prove that he's the cure. He gives her some of his blood, and you see that it is the cure. He's like, my blood is the cure. He pretty much wants Stefan to be like a, you know, pretty much how he was before. If you've read the Stefan diaries, you know that Stefan used to be a freaking like maniac, like a really bad, you know, big killer. So he wants Stefan to be brutal again. You go to Damon, and he's hallucinating, like he sees Catherine. He's over there at the Gone with the Wind thing, and he thinks he sees Catherine. And then Jeremy goes up to him, and then Jeremy's helping him. And they go to the grill or whatever. And yeah, at this point I got so lost on my notes. He takes him to the grill, and they tell Elena, you know, Sheriff Forbes, oh, well, they're at the grill, blah, blah, blah. So then she goes to catch him, and guess what? She fucking goes to shoot Damon, and she shoots Jeremy. At this point, I'm shaking in, like, anger and, like, sadness and just everything, and I just, like, wanted to cry my eyes out. I was in so much shock. I was just like, I'm so freaking done with Vampire Diaries. I said it already. You kill off Jeremy, I'm done. So done. You already killed off Anna, who is my favorite character. You killed off all these badass characters, and you're not gonna kill off my Jeremy. Sorry, I'm not watching it anymore. And I was just like crying. My sister was like bawling her eyes out. And she's just like, oh, he has the ring. I'm like, hello, he got shot by Sheriff Forbes. It's not a supernatural thing. He can't come back to life. Then you go back to Stefan agreeing to Klaus, you know, to all his terms because he wants the cure. And at this point, I'm just like, okay, I don't care about Stefan or Damon or Elena right now. I just want to get back to Jeremy, see if Jeremy's coming back to life, because Caroline's trying to give him her blood. And I'm just like, go back to Jeremy. I need to know if he's alive, because if you fucking killed him, I'm not gonna watch this anymore. Whatchamacallit. So the blood doesn't work, and then Bonnie's like, well, I have an idea. I could take him somewhere to like get cured, to come back to life or whatever. Because, Alaric comes in and she's like, Sheriff Forbes like, you can't take him anywhere. This is a crime scene, blah blah blah. And you're like, oh, bitch, you just killed him. They're trying to save your ass too. So, pretty much they're taking Jeremy somewhere. Caroline is telling her mom, you need to let them take care of this. Just let them do this. Just let them do this. So they take him away. Elena sees Damon, and he thinks that she's Catherine, and he's like freaking out, and he's like telling Catherine, like, I need to drink from you. I guess he's like thinking back to the time, like, when she, before he was a vampire, and he starts drinking from Elena, and you're like, holy shit. And Elena's like, Damon, please stop, you don't need to be doing this. And then he falls to the ground dying, and she goes to help him, and I'm just like, yeah, go back to Jeremy. So then we get to the witch house, and Bonnie's like begging her ancestors to like please bring Jeremy back to life, and please, and they're upset with her. They're like saying you're abusing your power, blah blah blah. And she's like, Emily, I know you're there, I love him, please bring him back. And they tell her, oh, if we bring him back, like, there's gonna be consequences. And she starts bleeding, of course, because Bonnie can't ever do a freaking spell without bleeding. And, I mean, I did cry at that. And when she was like, oh, I love him, I was just like, okay, you'll gain really big points with me if you bring him back to life, but I still don't want you guys together. So then, you think Jeremy's dead, and I'm over here pissed off, like, wanting to throw my laptop on the floor. I'm looking at my sister, we're both crying, and she's like, well, maybe he can come back, maybe he can come back, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know, I think he's dead. And then she's like, stop being a Debbie Downer, and I'm just like, alright, fine. And then, Jeremy comes back, and I'm happy, and like, really, really happy. Bonnie's all smiling and stuff. Then you wonder, what are the consequences? Gotta see what that is. Bonnie basically calls Caroline, tells her Jeremy's alive. Caroline goes and tells her mom, I don't want to run from you anymore. I don't want to be afraid of you. I don't want you afraid of me. You knew everything once before. You knew how everything happened before. But I erased your memory. And this time I'm not going to erase your memory. I want you to know everything. And then she starts hugging her and she's like, Mom, it's me. And, she's hugging Caroline because I guess she finally realizes just because Caroline's a vampire doesn't mean that she's a different person. Well, she is a different person now, and to me, in a sense, she's better. Like, from season 1 to now, Caroline is a vampire. She's really grown, and I really love Caroline as a vampire. She's one of my favorite characters. Now, they have a moment, and it, like, made me tear up, but then again, I was already crying because of Jeremy. Yeah, I cried my eyes out when I seen that he was alive. Bonnie and you see, Jeremy sitting on the bed, and he's looking up stuff that's like brought back from the dead or something like that. And then Bonnie just like pops up with like this little Skype chat, and she's like, well, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm looking up to see what I am or whatever. And she's just like, oh, whatever. He's like, I don't know how I'll ever thank you. She's like, well, you could thank me tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day. And I'm like, really, bitch? Like, you're a virgin. Isn't that what they said, that Bonnie's like a virgin? Like, are you telling him, oh yeah, I'm gonna sleep with you tomorrow so you could thank me, the next day and the next day? Like, please go somewhere. Yes, Bonnie, you gained points with me for bringing Jeremy back, but I still don't want you guys together. Please go be with someone else. And then it's like this really funny moment where Alaric comes in and he's like, are you okay? He's like, I'm gonna head off now. And then Jeremy's like, oh yeah, I'm fine or whatever. And then Alaric just looks at him and he's like, oh, I think I'm gonna crash here. And he's like, yeah, okay. And it's like, you really knew that Jeremy wanted him to stay over. And I like that moment because I actually think that Alaric's gonna end up taking responsibility for Elena and Jeremy now that John and Jenna are gone. He's gonna take responsibility for them. He's gonna be like their guardian or their dad or whatever. Then it makes me laugh because he goes, oh, he's like, thanks for everything. And he's like, no problem. He's like, you can thank me the next day and the next day and the next day. And he throws a pillow at him, and that moment, like, really, I don't know, I loved it. Then again, I love all the journey scenes, even if Bonnie's in them, but yeah, another story. So then you go to Damon and Elena, and he's basically dying on the bed, and he's confessing all these things to Elena, and he's like, all these years that I blamed Stefan for everything, and he's like, nobody forced me to love Catherine. It was like my own choice to love her, so I don't know why I'm blaming my brother for everything. And if you read the Stefan Diaries, and even on the show, you know that he like blamed Stefan for him becoming a vampire and for everything, you know, but at this point he's just like, I don't blame him. He's like, I forgive him. He's like, please tell Stefan that I'm sorry. And then you're like crying a little, you know, because you can tell that he cares about Stefan, and I'm glad that we finally see that they care about each other. Then you see Stefan is being forced to drink human blood. You're like, holy crap, he's drinking like all these blood bags. And then Klaus is like, I'll give you the cure if you leave town with me and you become like this really like brutal like ripper kind of person. And Stefan's like, no, and then he's like throwing away the blood, and Stefan's like, fine, I'll be your like right hand man or whatever. So then Klaus is like, alright then, I'll give the cure to your brother. He gives it to Catherine. So you're like, holy shit, Catherine's not gonna take this blood to Damon. Stefan's pissed off because he wanted to take the blood himself, and he knew that Catherine wasn't gonna take it to Damon. Like, I don't think anybody thought that Catherine was gonna take it to Damon. Then there's a Delena moment. Yes, I'm Team Delena, but again, I'm not like freaking like a radical Delena fan that goes crazy and talks crap about anybody like Stefan or anything. I've said this in a lot of videos, but I just want to make that clear. Like, I'm Team Damon, but I like Stefan too. So yeah. You have the Delena moment. He's like, I love you, you should know that. And then Elena's like, I do know that. And he's like laughing. He's like, you should have met me in 1864. You would have liked me. And she's like, I like you now. She's like, I like you just the way you are now. And then she kisses him, and it's like the most tender little kiss. And it's like, everybody's making a big deal about this kiss. I thought it was gonna be better. I thought it was gonna be longer than like a second, and it's stupid because it's a pity kiss. I'm sorry, it's a pity kiss, and Elena does care about him, but it's a pity kiss, and yeah, end of story. That's what it is. Then he's like, oh, thank you, and she's just like, oh, you're welcome. Enter Catherine into the room to ruin the Delena moment. Oh, Delena moment. Oh my god, what the hell's wrong with me today? Catherine comes in, she gives him the, you know, the blood, you can read the antidote. He drinks it. She's like, this is what can cure you. He's like, I didn't think you would be the one to bring me the cure. And she's like, well, I owed you one. Yeah, she owed him one because of something that he did for her, but, which was the compulsion thing. My sister and me think that Catherine helped Damon because she sees that Damon loves Elena and Catherine wants Stefan. So she thinks, okay, well, if she'll get with Damon, then I can get with Stefan. That's what we think. So anyways, Elena's like, well, where's Stefan? And she's like, well, he sacrificed everything to save his brother, including you. And Elena's like, what? So then she's like, yeah, she goes, oh, you know, it's okay to love them both. I did. And Elena's just standing there like, what the hell? And then Catherine leaves, so you don't know where Catherine's going. Maybe she's running off, maybe she's staying in Mystic Falls. We don't know. We'll find out in season 3. Excuse me. At this point, I thought this was where like the episode was gonna end. You see Elijah in a coffin with like the dagger in his chest, and then you see a bunch of other coffins. That's the original family. Holy shit, there's daggers in them. They could be brought back to life. Stefan's like, well, what do you need me for? He tells Klaus, and Klaus is like, oh, you'll find out soon enough. And he's like, I need you to feed off this girl, and I could have compelled her, but I didn't. I think the kill is a lot better when they're, you know, when you have to fight for it, kind of, you know. So Stefan's like getting really brutal. He ends up feeding off the girl with Klaus, and you see like he's just like evil Stefan, and I feel so bad for Stefan because he just sacrificed everything for his brother. Both of them just having these brotherly moments, and just somebody always loses in the end, and Stefan definitely lost on this end. So yeah, I think that Stefan's gonna end up getting fed up with Klaus, and he's gonna find a way to pull the daggers all out of the original family, and they're gonna fucking kill Klaus. That's how season 3 is gonna end. Yeah, that's just my theory. Coming to the last scene. The scene that I've been waiting to talk about. Freaking scene that I called even before it happened. I didn't even read spoilers, nothing. Last scene. Jeremy's sleeping. He hears something. He gets up and he's like, Rick? And he's walking through the house, and you just see like this shadow just like walk right past him, and you're just like, okay, who is that? Then you see like the silhouette kind of, I'm like, holy shit, that's Vicky. And then I start freaking out, and she starts following him down the stairs, and then she's like, Jer, and he looks behind him, and there's Vicky, and he's like freaking the fuck out. He turns around and he just sees Anna, and the look on his face when he sees Anna, it like kills me, because it's like, holy shit, like, Anna. And he's like, Anna? And it's like, she just gives like this little nod, like, yeah, it's me, bitch. And then he looks back and he's like, Vicky? And he's like freaking the hell out. He looks back at Anna and he's just like freaking out that they're alive, you know, that he's seen them. Okay, my theory on why Anna and Vicky are back. I don't think that Jeremy's like a ghost whisperer, that he can see ghosts. I think that this is the consequence that the witches are talking about. Who knows if by bringing back Jeremy, that also meant the consequence would be bringing back Vicky and Anna, which are his first and second love. And I have a feeling he's gonna have to choose between one of them, between Bonnie or between Jeremy. He's gonna choose between himself, between Bonnie, between Vicky, or between Anna. And I'm Team Anna. And if he ends up with Bonnie in the end, it really makes no fucking sense that they brought back Vicky and Anna, just saying. But all I know is that I was like screaming and crying and like jumping for joy when I seen Anna, because those of you that know me know that I love Melise Zhao, I love Anna. I was distraught when they killed her in season 1. I cried for like 4 days. As you can see in the back here, I'm just like a really big Anna fan. I'm just really, really excited that she's back, and I really hope that she goes into season 3. The thing is, if they are real, my sister thinks that they're evil, and I'm just like, I don't give a shit if they're evil. Like, Anna's back. That's it. End of story. Anna's back. Let's hope she freaking steals Jeremy away from Bonnie, and we get Jana/Joanna again. I was like really surprised to see like everybody on Twitter was like, Anna's back, Anna's back. It's like nobody's talking about Vicky. She was fucking kind of annoying. Drama chick. But anyways, yeah, Anna's back, and I'm so happy about that. I'm so freaking happy that Anna's back. Oh shit. I'm just like really freaking happy that Anna's back. Like, you don't even know how happy I am. Yeah, freaking got too excited and made the camera tip over. Yeah, so yeah. I'm just really excited. So that's my theory. The consequence to Bonnie could also be that since Vicky and Anna are back, he won't love Bonnie. Like, that's your consequence. He's not gonna love you back. You love him, he's not gonna love you back. Which, in my eyes, is pretty awesome, because I don't want him with Bonnie anyways. Bonnie did save him. Why can't they just be friends? Like, there's no chemistry in that relationship whatsoever. And at least with, like, Vicky and Anna, he had, like, great chemistry. And with Anna, especially, like, the chemistry is just so natural. They just need to get back together. End of story. Melise and Steven make the cutest freaking couple ever. If they got together in real life, I'd be happy. That's another story. I'm just like rambling here. But yeah, I'm just really freaking excited. I want to cry right now talking about it, but I'm not going to cry because last week I was crying in my recap, and I don't want to cry again. Yeah, I'm just really excited. Like, yes, Anna's back! Yes! So freaking happy. You don't even understand how freaking happy I am. Like, I've been waiting for this, and I even said it, like, please. I kept writing to Julie Plec and Kevin Williamson from my Bring Anna Back page. I was like, please, please, please let season 2 end with Jeremy seeing Anna. And bam, what happens? Jeremy sees Anna. And everybody's like, oh, your tuition thing worked. And I'm like, maybe it worked, maybe not. But I know that I freaking wrote to them a lot. Like, please bring Anna back. Bring her back. Bring her back. And Stephen R. McQueen was freaking like so Like, he freaking teased us. I don't know if you've seen like an interview of his like a few weeks ago where he's like, oh, a lot of people that you thought were dead are gonna come back, and then he's like, one person's gonna come back that a lot of people are gonna be happy about, and we all know it wasn't Vicky, it was freaking Anna. Holy shit, Anna's back. I'm so freaking happy. You don't even understand how happy I am. That's why I'm talking all fast and going all crazy. So anyways, I hope I didn't bore you. I hope you can understand what I'm saying, because I know that I'm talking really, really fast because my mouth is really dry. I'm sorry for the way I look. It's just that I needed to do my recap tonight. I could not wait to do it till tomorrow because of my excitement. So I will see you guys soon, even though there's no episode next week. I'll be making vlogs throughout the break, so keep an eye out for that. Oh, last chance to enter the giveaway, the Cat McQueen giveaway. Yeah, if you don't know what that is, go to my Tumblr. I will leave a link below to my Twitter, my Tumblr, my Facebook, and it has all the info on how to enter. It's really simple. And that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will see you maybe soon. Comment, rate, subscribe. Peace.